It is time for a chat with Pat.
All right, and today we have with us Father Leo Patalinghug. I think I said that correctly. Good morning, Father. How are you? You're a well-known person, so how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. As Father Leo, if people are not familiar, and I can't believe you're not, obviously well-known EWTN host, member of the community of Consecrated Life, the Will of God. He is also the host of the Father Leo Show podcast on YouTube. Father, we were looking at this article on what happened when I took Catholic Curious social media influencers on pilgrimage from the National Catholic Register. So how did you discover this community of non-Catholics who are curious about the Catholic faith?
Well, it's called the Internet, and it's called social media, and discovered that there were many people on social media using their platforms for exploring faith, and many of them were expressing interest in Catholicism. And we all know that the Internet only gives you half of the picture or half of the truth, or sometimes none of it whatsoever. And so as they were expressing themselves and their desire to be rooted in some sort of faith tradition, I just felt that there was a need for the Catholic Church to pay attention and to do something about it. Now, we have something called OCIA, which is just perfectly great. To be honest with you, some programs need to be stronger than others, and there needs to be a real consistency in how we are forming neophytes, new Catholics, and humans and candidates. But my objective was just simply to not convert anybody, but just to evangelize people. So we scraped together some money and thought if we can invite them on a pilgrimage, which I lead many pilgrimages throughout the world, but we have to start regaining a sense of pilgrimage in the United States. And so I wanted to take them to more as the first archdiocese. And so we invited them, and they took a big chance because they didn't know who I was. They learned about it since the invitation. And they took a chance. We took a chance in a real investment risk because it was a lot of money to bring 12 non-Catholics out, not knowing if they were going to well receive it or if they were going to reject it. They wound up becoming big friends, but some of them even became Catholic as a result of this pilgrimage experience.
Wow. So tell us why this kind of a real encounter through a pilgrimage is needed over just evangelizing on Internet.
Well, the Internet is only supposed to be an introduction to a wider world. They call it the World Wide Web. But if your experience of the Internet is just simply your screen, then you're really not experiencing real life. And I think people have enough common sense to know this. But sadly, the Catholic Church doesn't always have common sense. I think the pandemic and just some of the real poor responses of the Catholic Church during COVID and literally letting fear get in the way of bringing people together to the point where now still people think that watching the Mass on their TV screen is good enough. We have to realize that technology without theology will lead to a real messed up sociology, or at least pastoral approach to living. And so it was just my team and we wanted to do something to show off the beauty of the Catholic Church. And so we decided to just bring them on a pilgrimage. Now, again, I've led many tours around the world, and I've even started to do pilgrimages in the United States to reclaim a sense of holiness, even from our own parish experiences, because we have some really beautiful places in America that are just beautifully demonstrating our Catholic faith and our Catholic theology. So bringing them out, they actually had a chance to, what I say, taste and see the goodness of the Lord.
Oh, that's amazing. So was there anything that jumped out at them that you heard over and over as they experienced these different locations around Baltimore?
Yes, just how prayerful every place felt. You know, oftentimes, especially in the evangelical world, you feel like you're going to just a big warehouse or a stadium, and that's their understanding of church. And you know, there's no criticism to that, because sadly there are some Catholic churches who kind of make their churches look like that as well. There's no sacred images. Right. There's no smells or bells. It's really all about whatever the minister and the music minister are kind of hyping you up to feel. And I remember very clearly, as I was introducing the first basilica of the United States, which is the National Shrine of the Basilica of the Assumption, before we walked into it, of course I prepped them. And I just told them how, you know, we're quiet in church. We have to whisper. And they immediately, when they walked in, just felt kind of as if they were stepping into another realm. But then their phones came out, and they started just taking pictures and videos. And that's perfectly fine, because how wonderful to know that 12 non-Catholics are talking about how beautiful this Catholic Church is to their audience. And some of them have millions of followers.
You know, Father, this was a great idea. Are you going to continue to do it?
We have announced the new group of people coming at June the 10th through the 14th. And so, yes, we are going to continue to do this, because people are very curious. And Jesus said very clearly, knock and the door will be open to you, seek and you shall find. And that applies also for the internet. If you are truly searching and trying to understand Catholicism, we have an open door. And guess what? We'll even pay for 12 to come out.
That is wonderful, Father. Thanks so much for being with us today. Have a great week ahead.
Thank you. Take care.